Hello everyone and welcome to the DPB podcast. I'm your host Ryan Mondes. This is episode number 273 for January 31st, 2023.
Welcome to the Disney Pins blog podcast, the latest news on Disney pin trading and collecting from around the world.
Welcome back to the show everyone. I don't have anything for housekeeping this week, so we'll just get right into the pin news. First we're going to start off with Disney Employee Center. Last week they had a new Disney 100th Anniversary Series 1 pin set that released, and these were very popular. Cast member exclusives. This is Series 1, so we're expecting a continuation of this series, but there are 10 pins in total. They featured Oswald, Steamboat Willie, Mickey and Minnie, Goofy Donald Pluto, Three Little Pigs, Snow White and the Prince, Evil Queen, Pinocchio and Jiminy, Sorcerer Apprentice, and Dumbo with Timothy. And they are gorgeous pins, come on iridescent backer cards, limited edition of 400, retail price $24.95 each. Next up is Pink a la Mode, and they had Wave 2 in their Princess Stained Glass series that released. Wave 2 features Rapunzel, Snow White, Pocahontas, and Cinderella. These are 3-inch pins with stained glass elements, of course. Limited edition of 300 with a retail price of $30 each. Those released on January 26th. Next up is ourselves at Dpbstore.com. We had a bunch of new Loungefly releases and then one exclusive last week, part of our premier pin collection. First we'll start off with the Loungefly pins. The first one features Fox and the Hound and is part of that book series. It's a hinge design, limited edition of 800. Retail price $20. And I do believe we still have a few left. Next, there was a Monsters University Scare Games pin that released. This one's limited edition of 1,000. Again, retail price $20. Next was Ray from Princess and the Frog. The little lightning bug. He is next to a tree with a heart carved into it. This does have glow-in-the-dark elements with a slider as well. Limited edition of 1,000 on that one, $20. And then the fourth 3-inch pin features Star Wars Cloud City, and the characters are Funko Pop designs. This one's limited edition of 900, retail price $20 again. And all 4 of those Loungefly pins are available at Dpbstore.com. And then lastly was our premier pin that released last week. This one features Snow White and the Old Hag. It is a frame design, gunmetal finish. It has an etched metal frame, limited edition of $250, and the retail price is $30. All right, next up is Shop Disney. They had a new series of Star Wars meme pins that released. They read, I have spoken, it's a trap, do the magic hand thing, how rude, and let the Wookiee win. Those are all limited release with a higher retail price coming in at $21.99. Not sure if these are going to be appearing in the parks. I'm assuming they will, but we will keep an eye out. And then also at Shop Disney was a new Star Wars R2-D2 Jumbo pin. This has sculpted metal with a hinge element. Comes in a collectible box and the retail price is $34.99. All right, next we'll head over to BoxLunch. They had a couple of new blind box mystery pin sets that released. One features Lilo and Stitch surfboards. There are 6 different pins in total. One is a chaser. There's one randomly selected pin per box, and the retail price is $10.90. Those are exclusive to BoxLunch. And then they also had another blind box pin set. This one is called Balloon Animals. It's various Disney characters as balloons. This one's also one randomly selected pin per box, retail price $10.90. Next up is Disneyland Paris. At their pin trading event this last weekend called Pin Trading Time, they did have some surprise pin releases. They are all themed to Stitch, 6 different Stitch pins, and they are limited edition of just 400. All right, then lastly, we have Disney Parks in America. Last Friday at Disneyland, there were 2 pins that released for the Disney 100, the Eras collection. They are both limited release with a retail price of $17.99 each. One reads Walt Disney's Disneyland with glitter embellishments featuring Tinkerbell. And then the other one is Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse with an old camera. Next at Disney Parks were new Little Mermaid pin releases. First up, there were 4 new open edition pins that released. One features Ariel with Prince Eric, that one's $11.99. The second one features Ariel with a Prince Eric sculpted metal statue, that one's $14.99. Third one just features Ariel under the sea with bubbles, that one's also $14.99. And then the last one is a 2-pin set featuring Ursula and Flotsam and Jetsam. That one is $17.99. All 4 of those are open edition. Then there was also a Little Mermaid mystery pin set. This one features Ariel and her sisters. There are 8 different designs in total. There's also a pin with Ariel, Flounder, and Sebastian, as well as Ariel with King Triton. But the rest of them are with her sisters. 2 randomly selected pins per box there. Retail price $17.99. Next at Disney Parks, there was a new Disney Villains booster pin set. This one has 4 unique characters featuring Cruella, Captain Hook, Gaston, and Yzma. They are open edition. Retail price is $29.99 for that 4-pin set. The next set of fig pins also arrived at Disney Parks. I guess this would be considered wave 4, but there are 4 new fig pins that released here at Disneyland. They feature Ariel, Ursula, and then Mickey and Minnie, part of the Disney 100 collection. Mickey and Minnie previously released at Shop Disney, but Ariel and Ursula are brand new. These are all limited release, retail price $24.99 each, and they're also coming soon to Walt Disney World in Florida. Alright, now we have the new limited edition pin releases this week on Tuesday, January 31st. First, we'll start off with Walt Disney World. Florida caught up with Disneyland on a few releases. First was the Winnie the Pooh Day 2023 pin, where he's holding the red balloon. And then also 2 Star Wars action figure pins that previously released at Disneyland are now available at Walt Disney World. Then for the shared pin releases, there were a few Peter Pan 70th anniversary pins that were released. And these were on both coasts, Walt Disney World and Disneyland. The first pin features Peter Pan holding Wendy. That's limited release, $17.99. The second one is a pin-on-pin design featuring Captain Hook and Mr. Smee. Limited edition of 4,000, retail price $19.99. The third one features the Lost Boys, and this one is a mini jumbo size, around 2.5 to 3 inches. Limited edition of 2,000 with a high retail price coming in at $54.99 for that pin. And then lastly, there was also a Peter Pan mystery pin set. This previously released last week at Shop Disney, and now it's available in the parks. So that's it for the shared pin releases on both coasts. Now I'll talk about the ones that just released at Disneyland. First up is the first pin in the Dancing Characters collection. This features Prince John, and the heads on these characters have a swivel element, so they move back and forth. It's limited edition of 4,000, retail price $19.99. And like I mentioned, this just released at Disneyland so far, but it is coming to Walt Disney World. Next, there was a new Star Wars Galaxy's Edge pin. This one features Black Spire Outpost. It's part of that hinged design collection. It's limited edition of 3,000, retail price $19.99. Again, just on the West Coast, but coming soon to Florida. Then there were 2 Marvel World of Wakanda pins that released. These actually did both release on both coasts. I forgot to mention they are also in Florida. They feature Black Panther. One is a sculpted metal version that's limited release, coming in at $17.99. And then the purplish, orange, yellow version is the limited edition one, coming in at least 6,000, and that one is $19.99. Then there was a new Disney 100th Anniversary Build-A-Pin series. This is called Build-A-Pin because you can actually interchange the characters. Again, this just released at Disneyland so far on the West Coast, but it will be available soon in Florida. So first you start out with the Castle base pin, which comes with Mickey and Minnie. It has a pearl polished base metal. It's open edition, retail price is $29.99. And with that base pin with the stained glass castle in the center, that is the one that you can use to put the different characters onto that pin. So you can remove Mickey and Minnie, and then there are also 2 sets to go with this. The first one features Angel and Stitch. So those do not come with the base pin. You just get Angel and Stitch there for $19.99. And then there's also another 2-pin set featuring Simba on one pin and then Pumbaa and Timon on the other pin. That one's also $19.99. So you can switch up the characters with the base castle pin. There were a few other open edition pins that released as well, both online and at the parks. I will continue to update the weekly pin post at DisneyPinsBlog.com. But yeah, that's going to do it for episode number 273, your January 2023 Week 5 Disney Pin News. Thank you guys very much for listening and watching. Hope you have a great rest of your week. See ya.